This budget is about solving problems. This is about making sure that an economy that no longer works as well as it should, as well as it did for our parents' and grandparents' generations, actually works for young people.
So after a big spending budget with all of our money, the hundreds of billions of dollars that Liberals have promised to dole out to Canadians, it doesn't seem that Canada is buying it. Hello, I'm Adrienne with me are Lilley and Warren Kinsella. So normally after a big spending budget like this, Brian, the cabinet ministers are dispatched and there's spending announcements and there's ribbon cuttings and there's speeches. And the hope is that the Liberals get a little bit of a bump.
Yeah.
And Canadians are like, yay, a little bit more money for me. But that doesn't seem to be the case at all, with four major pollsters touching base with Canadians after this budget. It doesn't seem to have had a blip on the radar screen.
No, not at all. And the first one was Abacus. They released a poll just before the budget was released. But all the big good news announcements were in the budget. They left the bad news for the actual budget day. All the good news announcements were made in the 2 weeks ahead of time. We're gonna, fix your housing, we'll fix your teeth, we'll fix your shoes, we'll fix everything for you. We will run your life, Canada, and you will love it. And Canadians said, we don't. So a 20-point lead for Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives in that poll. Nanos has an 18.5% lead. Angus Reid, 20-point lead. Ipsos, 19-point lead, 43 to 24. But what Ipsos did was they also said, what do you think of the budget? Will this make you more likely or less likely to vote for the Liberals? Only 8% said it'll make me more likely to vote Liberal. 10% said this will help me personally. Most people were saying it's either not going to do anything or it will hurt me. And then they said, okay, give it 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down, or a shrug of the shoulders. 17%, just 17% said, I give the budget 2 thumbs up, like Siskel and Ebert. 40% gave it 2 thumbs down, and 43% said, it doesn't do anything for me. I mean, Warren, that's not a good reaction for a Politico to get, is it?
No, Warren, and when you get the shrug, when you're at the point in your tenure as a government where the Canadians are just shrugging, the time for change narrative, it doesn't matter what is promised or committed or how much money that they want to transfer intergenerationally from cradle to grave. They want to take care of everybody. Time for change has just eclipsed everything.
Yeah, it is a change election. And when those happen, God help the incumbent. So really, all that Poilievre needs to do between now and the election is maintain a pulse and smile a lot, which in fact is kind of what he's doing. Like if you look at the seat models, and I know seat models can be voodoo science, but somebody did a seat model on this Angus Reid poll. And Angus Reid is not an extremist group. They're pretty good at the numbers. They're pretty accurate. And the seat model has the Tories ending up with 219 seats, the Liberals with 54, the Bloc with 40, and the NDP with 28. So just to make it clear, what this reputable pollster's numbers suggest, and the others as well, is that the Conservative Party is going to get 4 times as many seats as the Liberal Party. This will be one of the worst results in the history of the Liberal Party of Canada. All other parties are going to grow, some modestly, some dramatically, like the Conservatives, but it's all coming out of Justin Trudeau's number. And he's got to go. He has to go. And I believe he is going to go because their budget was their Hail Mary pass. They've got no other opportunity now to move the needle. They hoped that they would move the needle with this class warfare stuff in Freeland's budget. It hasn't worked. In fact, it's done the reverse. 70% of Canadians across all demographics from east to west say that this government is not working for them. This government's working against their interests as a citizen. So, I think that's the only thing that's going to save the Liberals from extinction is Trudeau hitting the bricks.
Okay, Brian, we would be remiss if we didn't have yet another week when we didn't have a conversation with Warren about whether or not Trudeau stays or Trudeau goes. I know he's still firmly in the camp that he's out of here. I'm not sure if your perspective has pivoted at all from the fact that he's likely going to stay. I still very much believe he is not going anywhere. I think he's staying put, but he is the biggest albatross around the neck of the Liberals right now.
He's a stinking albatross around the neck of the Liberals right now. Look, I maybe put some ketchup on some crow that I was eating on the Kinsella cast last weekend with Warren. We talked about this. The only way that the only thing that has changed my mind a little bit in saying maybe he'll go is this idea of Dominic LeBlanc, his former babysitter, his bestie in politics, looking at doing a leadership run and organizing. And I agree with Warren that if LeBlanc's getting in, that means that he's got the blessing of Trudeau to organize. But I just don't see where Trudeau's exiting yet. You know, will he leave this summer? And if so, is that enough time? You're going to have like a 4 to 6 month leadership contest, and then you're going to be straight into an election come the new year. Because October 2025 is when the election is supposed to be. I don't think they won't campaign from January through October, mostly on our dime for the government. So, you know, potentially he could leave. So I've softened a little bit. Let's say it that way. I've softened.
If I can just jump in quickly, and I appreciate my friend having a little bit of crow there, but it ain't, you know, it ain't over yet. So the large lady sings. What I am hearing is that he's had family members, he's had people he respects, he's got a very small circle, and all of them are telling him it cannot be fixed, it cannot be turned around, all of them. So what's the problem? What's the holdup? The holdup is finding a job. He's a former prime minister, and he needs something big to go to. He's not a lawyer. He can't go and be general counsel at a law firm like Turner or Trudeau or one of the others did. He doesn't want to become a lobbyist. The problem has become Justin Trudeau needs to find something to do after he leaves. And apparently he's having difficulty getting that question answered.
Yeah.
So Conan O'Brien needs a friend.
Go ahead. Last words.
Conan O'Brien needs a friend is the name of podcast. Maybe we could get Justin Trudeau needs a job as a name for his podcast. And out of office.
I don't think Trudeau's going to have a hard time. It's shocking how people like in that world manage to fail upwards. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to the TorontoSun.com. You're going to find commentary and coverage there you will not find anywhere else.